Hey everyone, my name is Ashton August with YogiApproved.com, and today we're here to practice yoga poses to activate your sexual energy. Many of us are familiar with at least some of the amazing benefits of yoga, but perhaps a lesser known benefit is how yoga can actually activate your sexual energy and increase your sex drive. There are many poses in yoga that help to increase circulation, that nourish the body's systems through bringing oxygenated blood flow to them, that also target specifically the pelvic region, strengthening and stretching the pelvic floor, and many poses too that help to unlock and activate the first and second chakras, which are key to our sexual energy. These are the poses that we're going to practice here today. When you're ready, all you'll need is a yoga mat, so let's get started. All right, let's meet seated. So coming onto the seat, cross-legged is just fine. If you prefer half or full lotus, or if kneeling feels better in your body, that's totally fine too. But the main point is to just get nice and comfortable. And so throughout this practice today, I really invite you to be comfortable, to relax, to really allow yourself to enjoy and dig into each individual pose, because this is the first step to really activating your sexual energy, is finding calm, grounded energy too. We are going to begin with some deep belly breathing, and so we're also going to establish a mind-body connection by guiding our hands to our pelvic region and our lower abdominals. So you can do that here, creating a little upside down triangle shape like I am with my hands, and really just settle in. So maybe your thumbs are right around the belly button, the fingers pointing downward towards that pelvic region, and if it feels comfortable for you, you can close your eyes. Otherwise, just take a nice, soft gaze directly in front of the mat. We're just going to begin by deeply breathing in through the nose and deeply breathing out the nose. You can also incorporate Ujjayi breathing if it's part of your practice by constricting the back of the throat. Just an option. And really what we're doing here is just allowing our bodies to settle in through the deep conscious breathing. And also beginning to really activate this mind-body connection by bringing the hands to rest on the belly. Take a few more deep, nourishing, cleansing breaths on your own here. Good, and with these final few, just really start to envision the love that you have for your body, the confidence, the power that you feel within your body. And allow this entire practice to be a celebration of all these things. Take a final breath here. Very nice. We'll softly open our eyes, and we'll just take the hands now to our hips. So from here, we're going to begin some hip circles, and we're going to draw a counterclockwise circle with our hips. Bringing our hands to our hips allows us to feel this motion as we begin to draw the circles. Now, they don't have to be really big or dramatic. They can be smaller and more compressed. You're going to feel how this circle is really encapsulating the low spine here. Good, so what we're doing is we're creating heightened circulation and building heat in the hip and the pelvic region. And this counterclockwise circle is also something that you'll see in Bhuti yoga. This is something that we practice a lot, this spiraling motion. And what this is activating is the Shakti spiral, or the feminine aspect of divine energy. This is helping to awaken our sexual energy as well and get everything flowing. Take a couple more breaths here, a couple more circles. Good. And then I'll just come back to center. And let that go. I don't know about you, but I feel great already. So let's keep it going. We're going to meet in tabletop now for some cat-cow. So you want to stack your shoulders directly above your wrists. And you want to stack your hips directly above your knees. Knees are hip width distance apart. And we're just going to begin with a few simple cat-cows, and then we'll add on a Kegel technique. So inhaling to lengthen the chin and tailbone skyward. And then exhaling to round chin to chest, rounding the tailbone forward. Good. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale, round. Beautiful. Keep moving with the breath. Cat-cow is an excellent way to really warm up and hydrate the spinal top to bottom. With every inhale, as we lift the heart, we're really opening through the front body. And with every exhale, as we round the spine, we're really opening into the back body. Good. So take one more breath of each here. And then we'll come back to center. And we're just going to pause right here. Another thing that cat-cow does is to help strengthen the Kegel muscles. So we're going to essentially practice a Kegel as we perform our cat-cow. So don't practice it yet. With your inhale, just lift the gaze. Release any contraction, but you're going to feel the pelvic bones spreading. And then with your exhale, rounding into the spine, contract the pelvic floor, create that Kegel effect. Good. And then we'll go through a few more times. Inhale, release the contraction. Feel the bones in the pelvic region spread as you lift the gaze. And then exhale, round, contract, and squeeze. Good. Let's go for a few more of each. Work with the breath. Exhale, round and contract. Inhale, release, lengthen, lift. And last time we round and contract in. Beautiful. Come back through center, and then we're just going to wag the hips side to side a little bit. Let that go. Awesome job. From here, we're just going to cross the feet and lower back onto the seat. I'm going to turn to face forward for this. We're going to come into butterfly pose or Baddha Konasana, bound angle. You just want to bring the bottoms of your feet to touch. So from here, grab onto the feet and lift your heart forward and up, opening through that heart center. We want a nice open heart chakra and heart center so we can let all that love in. Take a couple breaths here. If you're feeling exceptionally tight through the hips and the hip flexors and even the inner groin, you can gently flutter the knees a little bit, flutter your butterfly wings. When you're ready, just release that, and we're just going to hold this pose for several breaths. What I really love about butterfly pose is that it really increases the blood flow and it builds heat in the hip region. It's obviously helping to open the hips, as you can feel right now, which in turn increases the range of motions. This is nice for when you're actually having sex, and it's a great way to really stimulate the blood flow. And this pose also really cultivates a sense of serenity, calm, as well as activating our sexual energy. So just take a few moments to feel this pose in the body, to breathe, and to relax. Let's go for one more breath here. Now, as a reminder, since you're watching the video, you can always pause it. So if you're loving a pose, you want a little more time in it, just hit pause and enjoy as long as you'd like. When you're ready to move on, though, we're just going to slide the feet away from us, come out of this nice and gently, draw the knees in to meet at the center, and then we're going to turn to face the front of the mat if you're not already, and we're going to find our way into cobra pose. So I'm going to extend my legs long as I slowly lower all the way onto the belly. Now you want to release the toenails down to the mat, and then we're going to draw our hands beneath our shoulders. Now from here, on an inhale, lift chin, chest, and heart as we hug elbows into the side body. Breathing here, this pose really helps to hydrate the spinal column, to send blood circulation to the spine as well as the hips and the pelvic region. This pose is also wonderful for opening up the heart, letting all that love in. Take a few more breaths here. Good, and slowly lower down. We're just going to let the head hang heavy as we slowly lift. And exhale, slowly lower. Take it through a few times. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Let's go one more. Inhale, lift it up. And exhale, lower it down. And this time, tuck your toes, press up and back. Downward facing dog. Just take a couple breaths here. Pedal out your feet. Bend alternate knees here. Downward dog is a full body stretch. It helps to relieve tension and tightness in the full body. It also really helps to soothe and calm the mind. It's a gentle inversion, and that's what's bringing you those peaceful feelings, calming effects. You can feel the opening through the chest and the heart. Downward dog is also said to really boost your confidence and your self-esteem. So these are all the key ingredients to really not just activating our sexual energy, but celebrating it. Take another breath here. Awesome job. And then from here, just gazing forward, we're gonna take little baby steps all the way to the front of the mat. And then we're just gonna round up slow, one vertebra at a time, coming all the way up to the top. And we'll turn to face forward. We're gonna take a big 4-foot step out to the right, finding goddess pose. So sink down nice and low in your goddess pose first. Take a couple breaths to rock your hips side to side, and your hands can just stay on your thighs for now. Good. As you continue to rock side to side, just know that goddess pose, like the name suggests, is really what's connecting us to our goddess energy, our power, our strength, our grounding. Good. This pose is awesome for stretching as well as strengthening the pelvic floor, as well as the inner groin, as you can feel, and the hip flexors too. So goddess pose is just an awesome pose for our overall feminine energy and celebrating our femininity. We're gonna take it one step further though. We're gonna add the Kali Mudra. So we're going to take our arms up overhead, interlacing our fingers and releasing our index fingers. Now, the goddess Kali is fierce. She is powerful. She is incredibly strong. This mudra, if you feel it, is so empowering. It gives you that sense of confidence, that sense of power, strength. So really sit into this, really feel this pose coupled with this powerful mudra. This is the peak pose for our sexual energy. Try to sink down a little deeper here. We're gonna hold it for 3, for 2, and for 1. Beautiful work. Slowly, we're going to release the mudra as we inhale our hands through heart center. And then exhale, just turn your heels out, toes coming forward, and we're going to interlace our hands behind our back now. So interlacing all 10 fingers, drawing the palms towards each other as we lift through the heart. And then exhale as we slowly hinge from the hips, coming into a nice wide leg forward fold. Let your arms hang up overhead. Let your head hang heavy down towards the mat as if it were magnetized towards it. As you continue to breathe and relax the body, begin to notice for yourself what this pose is doing. Feel that stretching and lengthening through the hamstrings. Feel the nice release through the lower back. And the reason that we took this arm variation is we're really opening through the chest, the shoulders, and also releasing tension and tightness in the upper back. Now, these are all areas that we tend to store a lot of tension, both physical, mental, even emotional, and also where we store emotional traumas. So this pose is a great way to really work through and release any sort of tension, tightness, or trauma that we may be holding here, which in turn allows us to be more open, free, and really able to activate our sexual energy. All right. Now with your next breath, we're slowly going to release our hands down to the mat and take a nice halfway lift. Inhale, get a nice flat back. So from here, we're moving right into Skandasana. So bend into your elbows as you lift onto the left heel and lower your seat down onto the right heel. Bring your torso upright, and you can keep your hands down in front of you for stability and balance, or you can guide your hands to heart center. Now, guiding the hands to heart center, you're going to feel really activates our pelvic floor because we really have to work our mula bandha or our root lock in order to hold this pose. Good, so take a breath here. The other thing that I love about Skandasana is that it really makes you feel fierce. It makes me feel like a total badass. So just hold this pose for a breath in, really keep that left foot flexed, pelvic floor is active. And then with your exhale, we're just gonna switch sides. Now, if you wanna bring your hands down as you switch sides, that's fine too. That'll just help you with balance. Again, you can keep the hands down or to heart center, and either way, just really focus on that pelvic floor tension, really activating the mula bandha or the root lock energy. Now, our final step here is we're gonna flow from side to side. So hands can stay down and it looks like this. Or when you're ready, hands can come to heart center. Or you can start to really express yourself. Now, self-expression and creativity all connect to our sexual energy. So do what feels comfortable for you, or maybe step outside the comfort zone and try something new. Either way, this pose and this flow really helps us to embody grace, beauty, poise, and strength. One more time each side. Good, and then from here, we're gonna come up through our forward fold, pivot to face the front of the mat, step your front foot back, and lower knees to mat, seat to heels for a well-deserved child's pose. Immediately greet this pose with nice deep breathing. Try to gently sway your hips from side to side here, really stimulating the hips, the low back, and the pelvic region. Child's pose is a lovely restorative posture. It's a gentle release for the lower back. And this pose really helps to cultivate a sense of calm, peace, and overall well-being for both mind and body. So oftentimes, especially us ladies, we're rushing around, we have a million things to do, so much on the to-do list that we tend to not put ourselves first, or maybe even second or third. And so we put our self-care on the back burner, which directly relates to our sexual energy because we're letting that flame go out by exhausting ourselves and running ourselves thin. So take a moment here to really feel your body nourish and rejuvenate in this resting pose. All right, so we're gonna press up and we're just gonna cross the feet and come onto the seat. We've got a few more fun poses, the next of which is Malasana. So I'm going to turn to face forward for you for this one. Now, I want my heels to be a little wider than my hips, and then I want my toes to face outward here. So make sure you don't have too wide of a stance for this. As you come into it, allow your booty to sink down towards the mat as you press elbows into knees and lift the heart. If you need to modify this, of course, please do. You can roll a yoga mat or a towel beneath your heels. You can lift your booty higher, wherever you need to go today. But find a comfortable and safe modification for yourself as needed. Otherwise, meet me here, and we're just gonna lift our heart as we allow the tailbone to drop straight down towards the mat. Nice deep breathing here. Malasana or garland pose, often referred to as well as a yogi squat. This is an excellent inner groin stretch, which you're probably feeling right about now. It also targets the hamstrings, the calves, but it really strengthens the glutes. It tones and strengthens the pelvic floor, the core, and really the low body as a whole. This is such an amazing, nourishing pose for your sexual energy and also for other things like your digestion. Take a couple deep breaths here. Know that this is a working pose, meaning it gets easier and more accessible over time. Good. Let's take one more breath. Awesome job. Now from here, we're just gonna come out of it by planting the palms forward, bringing your heels out and folding forward. We're gonna turn to face the front of the mat if we're not already, and we're just gonna lift onto the balls of the feet, seat down to meet the heels, round the forehead into the knees. Take a breath here. All right. right, and we're ready for our next pose. Now, this is a back bend of choice. If wheel pose is not yet part of your practice, you can certainly take bridge pose instead. Otherwise, we're going to practice full wheel. This is a lovely hip flexor stretch. It's also said to help increase the intensity of your orgasms. Finally, whether you take bridge or wheel, it's an awesome heart opener. So there's a lot of wonderful benefits here. Let's take the pose of your choice. Bridge pose, you're going to lie on your back. And then feet close enough to your hands, we're gonna inhale to lift the hips, and you can stay right here. Good. So staying right here if you're in bridge. If you would like to practice full wheel with me, then what we're gonna do is from this setup, we're gonna bring the hands down along the sides by the ears. And with your inhale breath, we're gonna lift and press up. Lift through those hips. Make sure the toes remain pointing straightly forward. Take a few breaths here, feeling that front body open and expand. Breathe in for 3, 2, and 1. We slowly release, tucking chin to chest. And if you're in bridge 2, we'll all lower down 1 vertebra at a time and then hug our knees into our chest, giving ourselves a great big hug, squeezing tight and feeling that compression of the thighs against the internal organs. Great work. Good. Now this is feeling really good right where we are, so let's just open it into a happy baby. Bringing the thighs down towards the floor, you can grab onto the inner or outer blades of your feet and just gently rock side to side. There's pressure points all along that lumbar spine, so as we rock side to side, we're really massaging those out, which feels so good. It's a nice lower back release. This pose is also really targeting the hips, the hip flexors, and the inner groin. What I also love about this pose is that it's really energizing. It's invigorating for the body. It first relieves tension and tightness, which in turn creates a sense of energy. And it also gives us this playful sense of fun, and that's something that you can take right into the bedroom with you. Now from here, we're just gonna hug our knees back into the chest. And finally, we're going to end with Shavasana, which I invite you to take in a reclined butterfly position if this feels okay in your body. If you'd like to make it supportive, you can place blocks beneath the knees as well. And of course, if you'd prefer a traditional Shavasana, that's perfect. Your arms can drape down by your side, or I would like to place one hand over my heart and the other hand over my low belly. If you do this hand placement with me, just begin to feel the heartbeat. Begin to feel the belly rise and fall with the breath. We'll all give ourselves this time to rest and to sink into our final resting pose as a way to honor the self-care that we've done here today, as a way to honor our feminine energy and our sexual energy here, and as a testament to how important it is to take the time for ourselves, to nourish ourselves, and to fill ourselves up so we're able to give back to our partners, to ourselves, and to everything we need in life. Take a few moments in silence here. Good. Now again, you're always welcome to pause the video and take a longer Shavasana if you'd like. And if you have the time, I would definitely recommend it. If and when you're ready to get out, if you're in reclined butterfly with me, we'll just guide our hands to the outsides of the knees and help draw them in to meet in the center. Let's all hug the knees into the chest one last time. Good. And from here, just bring one arm up overhead and roll on to whichever side you would like. We'll gently press up to seated. And ending our practice the way we began. We're going to guide our hands to heart center, really bringing the thumbs into the sternum, feeling your heartbeat. Gently guiding chin to chest and bowing in honor of our practice, in honor of the amazing benefits it can bring, and in honor of our sexual energy. It is truly an honor for me to guide you through this practice. Thank you, and namaste.